Hello there, Matt Ely here with another video on improving your eyesight. I'll discuss three things in this video. First, how do we measure our eyesight at home by ourselves for free? Second, how do we convert that measurement into diopters? And third, how do we stop the progression of our myopia? First, how do you measure your eyesight by yourself? You need two things. One is some text. I like text mounted to a fixed surface, and when I did this a lot, I would typically use the refrigerator because I have text mounted to it. The refrigerator doesn't move. You also need a measuring tape of some sort. The reason for the fixed surface is that if you're trying to hold a book and manipulate a measuring tape and the book is moving while this is moving, it gets a little tricky. So I like a fixed surface. There's some other ideas on myopia.org for how you can do it. This is how I did it. So what you do is you imagine this is my fixed surface and you scoot close to it until you're close enough that the text you're looking at is completely clear. Then you slowly back up from the text until that text starts to blur just a little bit. You can still read it, but it's lost some of the sharpness that it has. You then measure the number of centimeters from your fixed surface text to your eye. Then take note of the number. I will demonstrate here with my glass door. Since it's a fixed surface, so just imagine that there's some text here. Again, I scoot up to it. I gradually scoot back, and you may move even more slowly than this until there's a point where the text loses some sharpness, loses some clarity, blurs a little bit. Then measure from the text to your eye. That's right about 50 centimeters. It was at 49. When I started this, I saw -5, which converts to 20 centimeters until text started to blur. Here's how you make this conversion. You can go to the website, and on there is a calculator that you can use, or you can just use a formula, because diopters are inverse meters. So what you do is you take whatever centimeter number you got. I'm using 20 centimeters now in this example because that's where I started, -5. 100 over 20 equals 5 diopters. So you would have lenses in your lenses, your distance glasses, that are -5 glasses. Here's where this was fascinating to me when I first learned this. I would come back from the ophthalmologist or optometrist with the prescription, and it didn't make any sense to me. It said OD, OS, -2.5 or -5, minus whatever, and then it said SPH. There was another column that said CYL. There were different minus numbers next to that, and then there was a third column that said axis, and it had numbers like 150, 177. I didn't know what any of it meant. I just thought, I can't see. It's blurrier than it used to be. Well, all those numbers ultimately mean is a measurement of distance to blur, which we just did pretty quickly at home by ourselves. We didn't have to pay anyone to do it either. So imagine that I'm looking out my window here, and it's light outside. I'm looking to the horizon. The -5 diopter lenses, when I could only see 20 centimeters, take everything further than this 20 centimeters and give it the same clarity that it would have if it were 20 centimeters away. That's all they do. Now what happens as your vision gets worse and worse, what happened to me, is a difference develops between the eyes. There was already a difference. It's normal to have a dominant eye. Almost everyone does. Then the lenses themselves can induce astigmatism, and you have that to deal with. But in its simplest form, all that you're dealing with diopters is distance until blur. That gives us something to work with. Now, if this interests you, what you want to do is start collecting some data. Measure your eyesight, both eyes like I showed, and then do it with one eye covered, then the next eye covered. Do it for 1 week, morning, close to when you get up, somewhere around midday, and then right at the end of work, if you work traditional 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 hours, or an hour or two before bedtime. Try to do it in the same place. Try to do it with similar lighting. You will notice almost invariably that your vision isn't the same. Those centimeter measurements change based on how much close-up you've done, a lot of times based on how much sleep you've gotten, sometimes based on what you've eaten. Particularly in my case, if I ate a lot of sugar, I would find that detrimental to my eyesight. And this leads to a really, in my mind, provocative question, which is, if the measurements vary and my vision isn't fixed, is there something I can do to influence that? Third topic of this video: how do I stop the progression of my myopia? I think I said in one of the prior videos, and if I didn't, I'll say it very clearly here. When you are using glasses that correct for distance, they make everything to the horizon, to infinity, perfectly clear, and you use those for your close work. You are inducing what's called hyperopic defocus and causing your myopia to progress. What you have to do then is understand how to measure your vision, get some data, and then select what in the myopia thinking we will call differential glasses that you use for your close work. Once you start using less diopters for close work, you will start unlocking the key to stopping the progression of your myopia. Next video, I will discuss how we take that a step further and learn this thing called active focus that enables you to start reversing your myopia, undoing some of that focusing muscle spasm, letting the tension out so you get a little more distance, and then taking that a step further and start actually changing the eye back in the direction of clear vision without assistance from lenses. If this topic interests you, go to the website, nmyopia.org. You don't have to spend any money. There's all the information you need there is free. Read an article a day on the blog. Watch a video from Jake Steiner's YouTube channel a day. Do this for a month. Do it for 3 months. And all these things will start to make sense. What I'm doing in these videos is my interpretation. And I really just want to share with folks that this is possible and give you an idea of how to get started. I cannot be comprehensive in these videos. All the information is already there. I just want to invite you to consider. Once again, more broadly, if it's possible to improve your eyesight and potentially even get rid of your nearsightedness altogether, what else might be possible? More to come. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question. Until the next one.